So I went to the PX4 Dev Summit, one of the greatest conferences in the UAV space. I think we only have like 5 a year, so they're all kind of one of the greatest. In this video, I'm going to talk about what I saw at the Dev Summit, some of my favorite talks, and some of my favorite vendors that were there and the products that they showed me. They gave us these t-shirts. You got the trumpets, the alligators, sponsored by Q-Pilot. Very nice t-shirts.
Aion was the first vendor that I visited. I saw their new flight controller, the Skynote X. They also had the AI node out there as well. That's rocking a NVIDIA Jetson from what I know. The Skynote X is similar to the Skynote that we know.
The mounting holes are in the exact same location. The thickness, the length is the same, but the height is a little shorter. It also has the V6X architecture inside instead of the V5. And from what I learned, how they were able to make it slimmer was to remove the mechanical vibration isolation. Now they're doing all the vibration isolation in software with filtering and so on and so forth.
Now this doesn't give me the warm and fuzzies because you're supposed to fix things in hardware and then you can have more leeway to fix them in software later. But I've learned with companies like this that have a lot of smart people working for them, there's usually a reason they've done it. So Aion probably figured they could get away with this because of some specific reason. So I trust it. The next vendor I visited was Modal AI. They had a Starling development kit, and they also showed off the Voxel Mini 2. I think the Voxel 2 and the Voxel 2 Mini is really cool in concept. You basically get a companion computer that's powerful enough to do vision processing, and then you also get your flight controller integrated with that as well. So you have, for example, PX4 running with this thing, and on the same board, you can also do all your vision processing and all the cool stuff that you want to do. They also had the Starling and the PX4 autonomy development kit there. Basically, these are vehicles that are super easy to get into the air, and they come integrated with vision sensors and Modal AI's computers that can take advantage of these vision sensors. I see these being really useful for universities and research labs. When I used to go to university, I would see a lot of time being wasted on how do I integrate this camera, how do I integrate this companion computer, so on and so forth. This takes all the hassle out of that so you can focus on the project that you're actually working on. And of course, who could forget my dear friends Vince and Holy Bro. Still blows my mind that they're supposed to be a cost-effective option. Vince had a lot of cool gadgets with him. Really like that Unicore GPS. Basically, you have what they say is one GPS module and 2 antennas, and you get moving baseline with that instead of using a magnetometer. He's also got that NVIDIA Xavier board with him that he's been promising is going to come out real soon for the past 8 months now. So we'll see when that happens. I think he also had the NXP microcontrollers with him, the new ones, which is really cool. I got to talk with Aion of NXP, who was just putting up crazy numbers. I hope I'm doing these things justice. We have the first 1 gigahertz processor, 2 megabytes of SRAM, and 64 megabytes of flash, which is insane. Right as we're running into storage issues, NXP comes out with this. And also, we have a second core in there as well that's completely unused right now, which is a 400 megahertz core. And if we compare this with an H7, the numbers just look insane. As I know right now, Holy Bro is the only manufacturer that builds these NXP microprocessors. From what I know, they're built to that VX6X Pixhawk standard, and they have a lot of capabilities past that standard as well.
The rest of my time I spent listening to the talks and mingling with people. These are the talks that I think you should watch. The PX4 on the NXP IMX RT 1176 1 GHz MCU. Next one, Mavlink on modern network topologies by Thomas de Bruyne. This was a fun and eye-opening talk on how Mavlink works, its limitations as well, and Thomas was also a very good speaker. 3D printed multi-hole probe used as an angle of attack sensor. Find your bearings, how to choose the right heading source. Next, taking off with PX4. This talk goes into the new control allocation system in PX4. After that, I hit the Hack Our Drone workshop. It was super fun. The keynote session the next day with the ROS2 guys and Daniel Ager. But there's this massive push to integrate ROS2 with PX4 as deeply as possible. The creator of Plot Juggler also gave a talk. If you're going to give a talk anytime within the next 5-6 years, you need to watch this, I think. This guy, it's such an entertaining talk. I really think a lot of people should model their talks after what he has done. My friend Junwoo and Farhang gave talks as well. Junwoo presented about his team's high-altitude balloon return project, and for all of the investors out there with $2 million burning a hole in their pockets, Farhang presented about using AI to follow other drones. Outside of that, it was New Orleans and Halloween, dude. We had a lot of fun walking around and getting into trouble. And there was a drone light show as well, which was pretty cool.
What if I just stole one?
Huh?
It was overall, PX4 was overall very fun and a very relevant event in the industry. I personally went to see, where the heartbeat was. Being there, you can tell where the sentiment is and where the industry is leaning towards and what the goals are. So I had fun. I think it was very productive for me to go. And yeah, it was. Thank you for having me, Ramon. Thank you for having me, everybody. I'll see you guys next year.